I'm recording this video in March as we've just come out of what's typically known as RRSP season. For many people, this is a confusing time of year. Why do so many Canadians contribute to their RRSP every year and still feel anxious about it? If you've ever made an RRSP contribution just before the deadline and thought to yourself, I hope this was the right move. Am I putting enough in? Am I even using this properly? You're not alone. Survey data shows that while the majority of Canadians understand that RRSPs provide tax deductions, a significant percentage report feeling confused, uncertain, or worried about whether they're using them correctly. And as a financial advisor, I can tell you that confusion is completely understandable. Today, I want to explain why so many Canadians feel uneasy about their RRSPs, what's actually happening behind the scenes, and how to think about your RRSP and RRIF in a way that builds confidence instead of anxiety. Hi, I'm Stefano Francesca, Certified Financial Planner Professional and Senior Wealth Advisor at Next Step Wealth Management with IPC Securities Corporation. Every day, we work with our clients, helping them answer the three big questions: how much, how long, and what if? If your wealth management strategy doesn't answer these three questions, that's an opportunity to look us up. All right, let's get into it. The psychological trap of RRSP season. Most Canadians know four things about their RRSPs. There's a contribution deadline, there's a maximum contribution limit, you get a tax deduction when you put it in, and it's taxable when you remove it. And that's often where the understanding stops. What tends to happen is this: the deadline approaches, we hear messaging about maximizing contributions, we're told about refunds, so we contribute, sometimes strategically, and sometimes reactively. The tax refund becomes the short-term reward. According to data from StatsCan, Canadians consistently rank tax refunds as a strong motivator for RRSP contributions. And what you do with that refund or tax savings is more important than most think. It's the real driver to making dollars multiply. More on that later. You get a deduction today, the funds in the account become all pre-tax, and withdrawals are fully taxable. That distinction, understanding that the entire account is pre-tax, matters enormously in retirement planning. But contributing without understanding the long-term strategy behind it is like buying tools without knowing what you're building. RRSPs were designed in a different era. RRSPs were introduced in 1957. At that time, people retired later, life expectancy was shorter, and defined benefit pension plans were common. Today, the landscape is very different. According to Statistics Canada, life expectancy in Canada is now over 81 years. Many retirees will spend 25 to 30 years in retirement as life expectancy increases. At the same time, fewer Canadians have guaranteed workplace pensions. That means RRSPs are no longer just a supplement. For many people, they are the core of their retirement income strategy, and they are becoming your own personal pension plan. I think it's fair to say that over the years, complexity has increased. Over the decades, there has been an increase in the types of accounts Canadians can use to save their money. Tax-free savings accounts, first home savings accounts, defined contribution pension plans, corporate investment structures. Now Canadians are trying to decide, should I use my RRSP, TFSA, FHSA, all three, in what order and in what amounts? Without guidance, that complexity creates uncertainty. As well, generic or general advice that floats around can be misleading and not applicable to your own situation. So personal planning is key. The real questions people aren't asking. Most people ask, how much should I contribute? Super valid question. But that's not the most important question. The better questions are, what tax bracket am I in today? And what tax bracket and average tax will I likely be paying in retirement? How will RRSP withdrawals interact with government benefits? Should I contribute now or carry forward the room? Should I contribute now and carry forward the deduction? Should I be maximizing or bracket sizing my contribution? So here's some examples. Government benefits like OAS can be impacted by income in retirement. The old security clawback begins once net income exceeds certain thresholds. On 2025 income, that's $93,454. If large RRSP balances force high taxable withdrawals later in life, that can reduce benefits and increase lifetime tax. That does not mean RRSPs are bad. It means strategy matters. Research from OECD consistently shows that tax-deferred retirement accounts are most effective when contributions occur at higher marginal rates and withdrawals occur at lower ones. That's planning, not guessing. Why maxing out isn't always the goal. For years, the advice was simple: max out your RSP. But that advice lacks context. If you're in a lower income year, if you're early in your career, if you're planning a business exit, if you're expecting higher income later, maximizing contributions might not be optimal. Sometimes it makes more sense to contribute and carry forward the deduction, or defer the contribution, or prioritize TFSAs instead, or split contributions between spouses, or consider using the first home savings account if you're eligible, or strategically drawing down RSPs before age 72. Remember, at age 71, RSPs must convert to RRIFs, and minimum withdrawals begin the following year. Those withdrawals are taxable whether you need the money or not. So instead of asking, did I max it out? The bigger question is, does this contribution align with my lifetime tax strategy? Retirement is changing. Retirement today isn't what it was 40 years ago. Many Canadians work part-time in retirement, start consulting businesses, or phase into retirement gradually. According to labor data from Stats Canada, participation amongst Canadians aged 65 plus has steadily increased over the past decade. That changes the RSP conversation, because if retirement income continues for years beyond retirement age, then the tax deferral strategy needs to account for that evolving income pattern. Your RSP shouldn't just fund retirement. It should integrate into an adaptable, evolving financial plan. The real money multiplier. At the beginning of this video, I said that what you do with that refund or tax savings is more important than most think. Since RSPs are tax deferral tools, we're just kicking the can down the road and eventually paying tax on the income, purposefully at a lower rate in retirement. So the current tax savings or refund that we get every single year of contributing over the many years of savings is a treasure trove of money not available to you if you don't contribute. So to make it count, consider some of these strategies. Use your tax savings or refund to recontribute to your RSP, thus creating further tax deductions. Or contribute to your TFSA and stop underutilizing it. Use the refund to pay down your mortgage, saving you thousands on interest costs. Use it to fund your children's or grandchildren's RRSP accounts and get an extra 20% in government grants. Do you have a disabled dependent with an RDSP account? Consider adding funds in order to get the government grants into that account. And finally, I guess it's okay if you're using your RSP refund to fund your lifestyle, like family trips. There's value in that as well, although it's not monetary. The lesson here is don't just treat your RSP as a savings tool. It's so much more than that. Final thoughts. If you feel confused about your RRSP, your RRIF, your TFSA, your FHSA, DC, DB, or any other acronym we use in wealth management, that doesn't mean you got it wrong. It might mean you've outgrown product-based advice where you're working in silos and that you need more comprehensive wealth management service. An RSP is not something to maximize blindly. It's something to position strategically. The goal isn't just contributing. The goal is clarity. Clarity about your tax trajectory, clarity about retirement income, clarity about how this account fits into your full financial life, and clarity about your investment process. When that clarity is present, confidence replaces confusion. And that's not something you can figure out from a quick video or a retirement calculator. That's a real wealth management engagement. If you want to see what your retirement actually looks like and know that your RSP and RRIF strategy is on track, click the link in the description and schedule a call. We do this with Canadians approaching retirement every single day, and most people walk away with more clarity. And if you already have an advisor, but you're not getting this level of detailed retirement planning, that's a sign you should get a second opinion. And that's exactly what this conversation is for. Let's take the next step.